let's get the funny haha roll call going. Ambrose,
Yeah.
Balazar, Bug, Drogos.
So what's up, gamers?
Let's see, Mr. Mo Hernandez
Here.
Gamer.
and Mr. Billy Bonk.
I don't want to go to Brazil.
Okay.
Go back!
Damn it.
All right.
You're
So
going to Brazil!
Send him to Brazil.
I'm going to turn you into a Goomba.
So
Send
where you
him
guys
to
left
Detroit.
off? Go ahead, Matt.
I just said send him to Detroit.
Well, where we left off, you guys had climbed up the Brisson Mountains and you fought a pack of frost wolves. You went into a cave to stay the night, and you were confronted in the early morning by your revenants again. You were able to, dispatch them pretty easily, and it is now morning. The rain has stopped, and you are all about to step outside your cave.
What does the cave kind of look like again?
It was just a small cave with just what looked to be like a campfire that had been there, and that's pretty much it. There wasn't anything else inside.
It was in a roll 20, I believe.
Yep. Let me open that as well. That's the only thing you'll be seeing is the cave, but basically what you see in the roll 20 is what's in the cave. And I think the first person. Oh, that was the music bot. We won't need it. The first person who stepped outside, I believe, was Balazar. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. And when you stepped outside, you can see that it's morning, really early in the morning, so you have much of the day to travel if you wanted to do that. Um, can you make a perception check for me now that you're getting a little bit further outside? It's not nighttime and you can see a little bit more.
Sure thing.
All right. So you can see that the area that you're in that you've been staying the night as a big plateau. The snow has started to, melt a little bit. It's getting a bit warmer weather, and of course you saw the bridge that you came across on, and as you look to your right, way off to the side, almost falling off the cliff's face, you see like a medium-sized rock that seems out of place. It's covered in snow on the top, and it's just sitting there near the edge.
Can I go and investigate this rock?
You may. Go ahead and do a investigation check on this rock.
Oh, Jesus.
As you take a look at this rock, you don't really see much with the rock other than it seems very out of place, like it's not a rock that you would find on the mountains, and there seems to be a sunken in section on the top of the rock.
I will climb on top of the rock and kind of brush the snow off of it.
All right. Brushing the snow off of it, you can tell from looking at the imprint that it looks like someone had been using it as a seat. Can you make an insight check for me, please?
Sure.
Can I come out of the cave as well?
Yes. From what
Also,
you can... go ahead.
Did we take a long rest, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
So if anyone needs to take a long rest, then they can go ahead and do that. But looking at it, you can tell that someone has been sitting there on that rock for a very long time. You can almost gauge that they have sat on that rock looking at something for so long that they have indented it. It looks to be about 50 to 60 years worth of aging on this rock.
Can I tell the? Oh wait, never mind.
Are there any other marks on the rock, or is that it?
That's all that you can see. You can see roughly which direction whoever was sitting there would have been facing.
All right, where were they looking? Were they looking at the big beam of light?
From what you can tell, your passive perception, just looking out in the direction that like the indent was, you can tell that they were looking at the village that you had saw the night before as you were looking at the beam. Whether it's related or not, you can't really tell.
Hmm.
Other than that, there isn't anything on the cliff. And Ambrose, I believe you came outside and you just see Balazar just looking around. And does anyone else come outside the cave?
What's the
There's-
temperature? Is it hot, cold?
It's still cold for being the mountaintop, but it's a lot warmer than it was the night before.
Bug doesn't like the cold.
Nice
he'll be the last
day,
one out.
Balzar.
Yeah, I'd prefer less snow, but at least it's not a blizzard.
I'm gonna say that Otto is still kind of on his side, asleep.
Okay.
Jurgos goes outside.
What are you doing on that rock, Balzar?
Balasar is going to motion for Ambrose to come up, and he's going to show him the indentation on the rock.
All right. And sure enough, Ambrose, as you walk over, you see this very out of place rock with a indent that looks like someone has been sitting there for a long time.
Looks like normal weathering to me.
Nah, someone was sitting here and they were looking. And he's going to snap his fingers and point at the village over there.
Yep.
It must have had a very, I guess, hard tuckus.
That or they sat here for a really long time.
And as you look back out across that way, Balazar, you can see, like scanning, looking to your left again, you can see what looks to be a tiny building that, from looking at it, you can tell that that's where the source of the light is coming from. You can't really make out any features. It kind of just looks like a blob to you from the distance that you're at, but you can tell that that is where the light has been coming from.
Can I make a rough estimation of its size?
Yes, go ahead. Make a perception check for me, please.
Balzar, hop down from there.
All right, I'm getting down.
From what you can tell, it's not a normal sized building. That's all you can really see from where you're at. It seems to be large in nature, but you can't tell what it is.
I want to try to roll the boulder off the cliff.
Very well. Make a strength check for me, please.
And I'm just gonna like put my hands against it and push against it all I can.
All right.
Yeah, he got 10, rolled in D&D.
Oh,
Normal
Oh.
D&D.
My bad.
Yeah. As you push on it, Ambrose, it doesn't seem to budge. Much like the bridge that you were on the day before, it seems to be frozen in place.
Oh, it doesn't seem to be moving.
Just leave it. It's not hurt.
I just wanted to roll it. Seems cool.
Let's see. Mo, Bug, and Drogos, you're still inside, correct? Or I think I heard
Drogos went
Drogos
outside.
Okay. So, what is everyone doing on the inside of the cave? It's still early
Bug-
morning, and you've taken a breather from your confrontation in the morning, and you're still well rested and ready to go.
Bug's just trying to prepare himself for the cold, as he does not like it very much.
Mhm.
So he's just sort of standing near the cave entrance, just kind of waiting for everyone else to kind of get ready, so he doesn't have to sit around outside.
Yeah.
Like just kind of getting ready to have to face the cold, just kind of thinking.
And what
So-
is Mr. Billy Bonk doing? You said he was laying on his side, just resting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Mr. Hernandez.
Mo's like twiddling his knife around his dagger around his hands, just looking around.
All right. Would anyone like to do anything on the mountain while you're there?
So, Balazar, what do we know of this beam of light moon god person?
Not much, other than that they hate the sun, or I guess the god of the sun. Other than that, I can't really tell you anything. We only had a brief encounter with them,
Hmm.
and that was the sun blinking out of existence and it raining blood for a day.
And we're pretty sure that these doubles are that god's doing?
Not entirely, but the best lead we have is that building over there with the beam of light.
Hmm.
I don't see any other option.
And as you look, you can notice that during the daytime, the beam isn't really showing. It's only at night when it's present. And from what you can tell, as you've been walking closer, you can't tell whether the beam is getting brighter and stronger because you're getting closer to it so you can see it better, or that something is happening there that is increasing it, or there's a big event going on.
Hmm. Well, I do think I will enjoy pounding my fists into whoever destroyed Brock.
You and me both.
Alright, so at this point, Bug's gonna leave the cave and kind of join everyone else outside.
As you go outside, Buck, you see Balazar and Ambrose just conversing with each other off to the side. And Drogos is also out there as well.
Bug's gonna see what Ambrose and Balazar are talking about and walk up to them.
Hey guys, what you talking about?
Oh, who this whole fight is about, I guess.
It's certainly been a interesting couple of days.
Hmm.
I'd really like to know more about who we're fighting.
Well, we can find out once we get to skin them.
I don't suppose anyone. Brock happened to have a book on him about gods or something, did he? That always seemed more his speed.
I think he might have. I remember,
He was always reading that book.
he was reading a book.
It was
Was it?
Gray, I think.
Yeah, wasn't he a paladin of, what was the god? Artundus?
I remember. I remember when Mo hit his amulet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do a history check to remember.
Go ahead. From what you can remember back in your time in Warham, it seemed that Brock was eagerly looking around the bookstore for a book on Artundus. From what you can tell, it was a dwarven deity that he seemed to be very fond of, although you can't really tell more than that of what their ambitions were, how they, became a deity or anything of that nature, other than Brock had a special attachment to them.
Hmm. Well, he was excited when we went to the Warren bookstore. Get a book on Artundus. Who has the stuffs anyway?
We spread it out amongst ourselves. I got his helm and shield, and I think some of rations.
yeah, don't you still have his armor? You got like his armor, his helmet, his shield. I let's see, what do I got in here? Oh, I got his pick. Oh, I have his book. Yeah, I knew I recognized it. Here you go.
And I produce the Book of Artundus.
All right.
I'll reach out for it.
Careful with that.
I'm just gonna flip through it and see if Brock made any notes in it.
Did
Or
Brock
anything.
make any notes in it? Funny man.
The the only thing you notice is that it seems each page is kind of like duplicated. So one page is would be the first page in common, and the second page is the first page in Dwarvish. And the first time you see that, it seems that the Dwarvish side is kind of angrily like scribbled out. But other than that, there are no notes.
Hmm.
At this point, Jorgo's taking notice of everyone.
I will pass it back to Bug.
I thank you.
And I put it back in my bag.
And as you're all kind of talking amongst each other, Drogos also comes up and joins the group.
Hey, bud. So, we getting going soon? I'm kind of cold.
I mean, hopefully once the others get up, or actually,
And as you all
Perhaps it is to get going early.
And as you're
Have
all
something
looking across, everyone can take a note of the surroundings, seeing a village there, and to the left, across the mountains, you see a building that looks to be the source of the light. It seems quite far from where you are, so it may be a couple of days' journey to climb down the mountain and traverse.
How far is it to the shack?
The shack,
Or the building, the big building?
oh, the big
Sorry.
building. From what you can tell, it'll probably take 2 days to get there, which is the same distance to the other landmarks in the area, the village there, and there seems to be a river flowing there that you can get water from that leads into a big lake, and that's pretty much all that you can see from where you're at.
Do you have that map of where all this stuff was, or?
Oh, like the actual map?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. You have it in D&D.
Yeah, but it had some landmarks on it that you put on it.
I didn't put any landmarks on it. Oh, that's right. I did put that. Yeah, let me put it in D. I totally forgot. Sorry about that. I'll put it back in D&D commands for you guys. If you'll give me just a second to get it. And while I'm grabbing that, if Otto and Mo wish to do anything, since they're the ones who are still inside.
Otto is still on the ground on his side.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Yep.
Is Otto asleep or just laying?
As far as you can tell, yeah.
As far as I can tell, he's asleep.
He's on his
Oh.
side, and yeah.
All right, then I'm just gonna continue flipping around my knife.
Alright, the picture's about done loading. Just give it a second. There you go. You're currently on the red X, and the the monument that you see is represented by the moon there.
And the village is...
To the right across the mountains, where the 3 buildings across the river, and then the very large one there.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem to make much sense to stock up on supplies. We should probably just go and fight, right?
We can stop and rest in the village once we're done. Where
Yeah.
it is.
Well, guess I'll grab my stuff and get ready to walk.
You didn't already grab it?
And Bug slaps his pack.
Balasar is going to walk into the cave and see who is still inside.
As you go inside, Balazar, you can see Mo off to the side to himself, messing around with his knives, and on the other side you can see Otto, who has his back turned to you in his sleeping bag.
Balasar is going towards Mo.
Ambrose is going to go and pack up his stuff in his sleeping bag.
Getting ready to leave. Come on.
Alright, sounds good. I'll put my knife
Could
away. and follow.
wake up the kid? Or,
I'll deal with it. You just focus on getting your stuff all secured. Balasar is going to go over and shake Otto awake.
Oh, hi. I've been up for a couple of hours.
Lynn, come on. We need to go.
Okay, I'll start to pack up.
Bug's gonna yell from outside the cave, I'm cold!
The sound of Bug is echoing throughout the small cave, and you all hear it quite loudly.
Cold, cold, cold.
Oh, is it raining?
Weather's clear.
So I guess
you, gnomes are handy, right?
We can repair and maybe, make some new things if we have enough time and gold, yes.
We need some, better clothing, I do think. A lot of the coalition is quite cold.
Well, I don't think we have any fabric. I think the best thing we could do, maybe, would just wrap some of that rope we all have around us, but that won't help very much.
Yeah.
We could hunt for some large wildlife and use its fur.
Maybe let's just keep an eye out.
Okay.
Bug's doing that really bored. Outside.
Yeah. Does
Well,
is
let's
everyone
get going.
packing up?
Yeah.
Ambrose is gonna, shoulder his pack, then walk out.
Alright. And
What color was Brock's cloak that he had?
I think it was just black, right?
it was the one from Seward, correct?
Yeah.
It was brown. It was a large brown cloak. And
Okay.
after you all spend about 10-15 minutes to get yourselves prepared and you step outside, those who haven't been outside yet, it was warm. You have gotten used to the inside of the cave where the wind wasn't blowing too much. As you come outside, that coldness hits you again. And it doesn't feel as cold as the night before, but it's still freezing. And you are all together in a group outside. You can go wherever you wish from the top of this mountain.
I don't see the beam anymore.
Well, we also can't see the moon, so we could assume that it shows up at night.
Well, I wonder why my crystal is pointing me towards the beam. It seems like it's just bad people.
Is everyone outside the cave at this point, or is it?
Yes,
everyone's out.
everyone has got their stuff together and everyone's outside.
Well, Otto, have you considered that maybe it's pointing at the baddest of people, considering there's bad people everywhere, and it's pointing at those bad people, meaning that they are the baddest of people?
Do you think they captured my dad?
Maybe they know where he is. I bet your dad, knowing you, is too smart to be captured.
Oh, probably, yeah.
They probably know where he is. You ready to help us kill a god, little man?
If it means I can find my dad, I'll do anything.
Yeah!
Alright, does anyone wish to do anything else?
Today bodes well.
Oh, everyone, do keep in mind, if you see any large animals, what's your name again?
I'm Otto Billy Bonk.
Yes, Mr. Child Billy Bonk will fashion a coat for us.
Well, I mean, I can skin it.
Oh, I have a tiny knife that will work.
I have several tiny knives. They only get tinier.
Oh, well then we can work together.
Yeah. Well, we best be off.
Does Drogos or Mo wish to do anything?
No.
Nah.
Alright, then I guess after you all get yourself together, about 10-15 minutes, you all start heading down the mountain. Which direction are you heading? Are you heading towards that one building or towards the village to your right?
The one
Probably the
building.
one building.
And then on to the moon, probably.
Bug looks like around, goes,
Whoa, there's some buildings over there. Whoa.
Yeah, that's the direction of my village, I think.
Well, I mean,
I thought your
it's a
village
one-
burned down.
It's a 1 out of 4 option, isn't it? Like it's either northwest, south, or east.
Oh, if my memory is remembering things right, I believe it's past that. That's not my village.
I thought you said the village was like many miles away.
It is many miles away.
Okay.
So as you climb down the mountain, it's very quiet. There doesn't seem to be any sounds except for your own walking through the snow and the wind howling about you. Unlike the other side that you came up, you're a lot higher up than the one that you started climbing up. There is no distinct path like there was before that led you up, and it seems like you would have to climb down this roughly, making sure to watch your step as there is no path.
Guys, got any keys?
Do we have anyone?
Skis. They're like wooden poles you put your feet on. You can zoom through the snow.
Oh, I've read of those, but I don't think we have anything that we could, use to fashion those.
That's disappointing.
I am going to look for animals.
Alright, make a perception check for me, please. As you look around, it seems like it's a barren wasteland. There does not seem to be any animals anywhere. For miles, it seems, as you look around. You can't really hear anything, and you can't really see anything either.
No birds or anything either?
No, there's nothing. It's almost deafening how quiet it is. It is just the six of you, and the wind is the only thing that you can hear, and nothing that you can see.
I'm just gonna yell hello to see how, far it echoes and stuff.
As you yell, it goes on for quite a while. Just hello, 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 hello. About 10 to 15 times before it finally fades out.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
That too also echoes throughout the mountain range as you are climbing.
Alisar is going to look around for a rock he can throw a bug.
Yeah, the acoustics here are, as the kobolds say, bitchin'.
Did you want to look for a rock, Balzar?
Yes.
Make a perception check.
Can Bug, not caring, just try to play his lute with the good acoustic?
Your mic is cutting out hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can the Vungust try to play his walk, ignorant that Balsar is angry with him?
Yes. Balazar, you do find some just rocks laying about, sticking and jutting out of the snow.
Balazar,
Bug, you play
These
D20.
are awesome.
What did you want to do, Balazar?
I would like to take one of these rocks and throw it at that bug. Not hard enough to hurt him, but just hard enough that he feels it.
Roll a d20 for me.
Do any of us see this happening?
Yes. As you're all climbing down, you see Balazar pick up a rock and chuck it at Bug, at which it goes whizzing right by his face down the cliffside, just clinking on its way down.
Mo wants to look around. Mo saw that and wants to get a rock.
Hey,
Throw it
no
back at
rocks!
Balazar.
And I'm gonna grab a fistful of snow.
Bug
Snowball
not,
Fight?
hearing, Bug not hearing this thinks they're talking about rock music and goes, "Sorry, I don't know any."
You sure
And-
enough find a rock as well.
I'd like to throw it at Balazar.
Roll a d20.
Don't put rocks in the snow!
Are we having a snowball fight? What's going on?
What's your AC, Balazar? Is it 17?
Hang on.
I have it. Why am I talking about? I have it open. Yeah, 17. Balazar, as you throw the rock at Bug, you see it go whizzing by, and a second or two
Mo,
later, you see a rock go flying by your own face, and as you turn to the side and look, it seems like Mo was the one who threw it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my snowball and throw it at Balazar too.
Alright, go ahead and make a d20.
Mo wants to. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Balazar, not only did you just see a rock go flying at you, but you see Ambrose ball up some snow in his hand and chuck it at you, at which you just duck out of the way of it.
Are we
Mo
having a snowball?
sees Ambrose throw a snowball, and now Mo wants to throw a snowball at Ambrose.
While this is happening, Jargus is like rolling up a massive like ball of snow, and like when he makes it, he's going to cast Ray of Frost on it to make it into like an ice ball.
Of course, you would throw an ice ball.
He's not going to throw it yet. He just wants to have it for now.
Alright. You wanted to throw a snowball at Ambrose?
I'm gonna prepare my reaction to catch it.
Okay. Deflect missiles on the snowball, or
Yeah.
go ahead and make a roll a d20 for me. Mr. Hernandez. No, Mr. Hernandez needs to roll a d20.
There we go.
Alright, it just goes whizzing. It's so far away from you, Ambrose, that you can't realistically catch it without jumping off the cliff to grab it.
Okay.
To the rest of you who is like turning around and looking, you just see everyone throwing rocks and snow at each other as you're going down the mountain.
Alistair is going to turn and just continue down the mountain. He's not dealing with this.
Can you repeat that? Your mic is cutting out a lot.
Give me a second.
Because am I the only one that's hearing him like really quiet?
He's been quiet for a while, yeah.
Testing.
You sound okay.
I'm just gonna turn and walk the mountain. I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
Just walk down the. Yeah, Bug doesn't really notice this is happening, so just playing and walking.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to throw a snowball or a rock?
They're just going to throw his ice ball at Mo.
I'm
Alright,
gonna roll up a snowball and give it to Otto.
roll a d20 for me, Drogos.
I didn't mean to do 2 stars. I don't even know how I did that.
Okay, what is what's your ability modifier? Like for casting spells? Is it +7?
+7.
Yeah, Mo, as you're throwing your snowball at Ambrose, you can see Balazar and Bug start to continue walking down the side of the mountain before you just hear and then you feel it as your head lurches forward as you just got hit in the back of the head with what feels like an icicle just stabbed you in the back of the head. Dragos, can you roll a 1d8 for me, please?
Gladly.
Oh no.
Mo, you take 6 points of cold damage as it knocks the wind out of you. It hits the back of your head and you stumble about.
Does Ballastar hear any of this?
You hear just more sounds of people throwing snow about, and you can't really tell that there was anything amiss other than what you had already saw.
I'm going to give a snowball to Otto.
Alright, Otto, you see Ambrose ball up a little thing of snow and hand it to you.
When we are in cold conditions, it's ill-advised to eat snow. I'm sorry, but it was a nice gesture.
I'm gonna eat some of it.
Alright, it's very cold. It chills your mouth. It is extremely cold. And the weather around you doesn't help at all.
It's not too bad.
Well, just don't eat too much of it, or your body heat will drop drastically.
Who's a what?
I'm telling Ambrose about the importance of eating warm food in a cold climate.
Yeah, or just don't be in a cold climate. That works too. Speaking of which, let's leave now, please. Everyone, let's go.
It seems there's a internal conflict within this group.
No, we're just messing around, having fun.
Wait, what's happening? What conflict? Did I miss some conflict? I bet not missed any conflict.
There's
on,
a
Snowball
internal
Fight.
conflict.
As you turn around, Bug, you see that Mo is off to the side, like, with his head bent low after he just got pelted. And from as you're looking at him, you can see like the snow on the back of his head.
Are you guys throwing snowballs at each other?
Having a snowball fight, having fun.
Stop!
I am going to lay down and start to roll sideways, like log roll, and try to build up put myself in a big snowball.
Can you make any athletics check for me, please? Easily enough. You start rolling. I assume horizontally, so you aren't rolling down the mountain.
Down the mountain a little bit, yeah.
Make a dexterity check for me, please. Or actually a saving throw, if you wouldn't mind.
Where's Ambrose?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to roll down the hill, too.
Where's Ambrose? Oh my god.
As you all are walking down, Otto, you are watching this happen from the beginning. You see Ambrose lie down and start rolling to get snow all over him, and fairly enough, you can see snow start to cover him up like a blanket almost, and it just keeps building, and his speed also keeps building as Drogo's. You're down in the front with Balazar and Bug, as the three of you watch Ambrose go tumbling past you, rolling at a brisk pace past you in a big ball of snow.
So you always have to point at him and cast haste.
Do what, Dragos?
We're going to point at Ambrose and cast haste on him.
And what did you say, Ambrose?
How thick is the snow layer around me?
It's picked up a bit. It's the soft snow, not one that would stick too much, but you've got about a foot or two of snow surrounding you as you're rolling. And
I'm just gonna keep going.
How far away is he past us by now?
He is rapidly descending the mountain in this ball of ice.
How far roughly?
He's by the time he passes you and you notice what's going on, he's about 100 feet down.
Oh, I can't.
What?
I can't reach him.
Oh no!
I can't reach him. Then
he is rolling very fast.
He's got the right idea.
Can Bug
If-
try to do the
we
same
get
thing?
too severely injured, we're gonna have to stop at that village.
You're all still at the top, like a fourth of the way down, and Ambrose is rapidly approaching halfway down. With there, you can physically like see rocks jutting out and the sides of a cliff, and he's just rapidly approaching.
Well,
Uh-oh.
it seems like Ambrose Jorgensen will die soon.
Oh, no.
Can you make a dexterity save for me again, Ambrose? You all watch as, from your field of view looking down, you can see what looks to be like the lip of like a cliff that juts down, and you see Ambrose rolling, and then he goes off of it, and then there's just silence, and you hear "Phoom."
I'm going to
And then
use
you-
slow fall.
Then you hear, like, as soon as he goes off the ledge, about a second later, you hear "Phoom." And then Ambrose, you have stopped rolling, and you seem to be fine. Like that, it looked like it was a large drop, but it only dropped like a couple of feet, and a rock stopped you.
Okay.
Ambrose, are you okay?
Can you roll a? Actually, it's better if I'll roll a funny one of these.
Bruce is just laughing at that.
It seems
You-
Ambrose has died.
You
That's-
take 5 damage for hitting a rock on your way down.
Alistar's going
I'd said I'd like to use slow fall, which you reduce any fall damage equal to 5 times your monk level.
Alright, then, is there a range limit? Because you drop like a foot off the thing and you just hit a rock. So it's not really fall damage as much as it is that you hit a rock on your way down.
It doesn't specify a range.
Okay, then yeah, you don't take any damage. You just feel achy from hitting a rock.
It
Alistar's
didn't
going
sound to
sprint
me.
down to the edge.
Can you repeat that, Balazar? Again, your mic is very low and it's very hard to hear you.
I'm going to sprint down to the cliff edge.
Alright.
How much snow is surrounding me right
A
now?
lot. It looks like there's about 3 to 4 feet of snow around you, which you're buried in. And Balzar, as you sprint down, you're stumbling around trying to get around all the rocks and stuff in the way. And eventually you get down to like the drop off, and you look down to see there's just about a foot or two down, and you can see Ambrose's feet sticking out a blanket of snow.
I'm a little stuck here.
Hop down and start unburying Ambrose.
As you're laying there, Ambrose, you can just see snow. That's all you can see, and you just see hands digging and dragging out until you see Balazar looking down at you.
Oh, well, thanks. That was a bit fun.
Mr. DM man, can I try something?
Yes.
I have a scimitar which I very rarely use. Can I try to use that as a makeshift surfboard or snowboard in this case? Bug doesn't really want to roll down, but he wants to go fast. Is that allowed, or is that not going to work?
Yeah, I mean you can. Can you make a acrobatics check for me, please, to see if you can stay on to the scimitar as you go sliding down? Otto, you're in the back of this group, and not only did you just watch Ambrose go rolling down the hill and fall off what looks to be a cliff, you can't really tell how far down, but you also see Bug a little bit further ahead pull out his scimitar, lay it down onto the snow, stand on top of it, and like kick off, and he goes speeding down the hill as well, like he's surfing.
Well, it seems Bug Fungus is about to die.
Woo!
Andro goes and Mo, you also watch this as you are all still just walking normally down the cliff.
Bruce is just face palming, like trying so hard not to laugh.
Knowing the jump is coming, can Bug prepare for the jump to try to kick off of it and get some nice air?
Yes. Can you make another acrobatics check for me, please?
I'll go laugh my ass off if I get stabbed in the back because he was an idiot.
Wow!
As you're helping Ambrose up, the both of you hear the sounds of something rapidly approaching you at the top. And after a second, you see what looks like a scimitar come flying off the lip above you. And you see Bug, like, he's happy looking just as he goes flying out way far out off the lip of the cliff, and he lands it back onto the mountain as he goes sliding down.
I'm gonna suggest we readjust our course and head to that village first.
Why would we do that?
Supplies, just weapons, one good night's rest.
It's gonna take us a bit of time to get back then. And we might have to fight those doubles again.
With any luck, they won't attack us in a populated area. They haven't done it before.
About 5 minutes of walking, the rest of the group has caught up with you, Balasar and Ambrose. And the only person who isn't with you at the moment is Bug, who is rapidly going down the mountain.
Wow! Do I need to make another acrobatics check?
As you continue going down, Bug, you can see ahead of you the snow start to, be less, there. It's more scarce, as you're getting now into more, straight up mountains, like rock and other ledges jutting out, rapidly approaching you.
We're going to follow the path that Bug's scimitar board has made.
Alright.
So seeing the snow is starting to end, Bug is going to curve his body and kind of kick the scimitar with him sideways at a kind of angle to stop the board.
Alright,
or the sword.
Can you
sword
make
board.
a athletics check for me?
Where it all goes wrong.
You are going at such a speed, Bug, that it is hard to tell what is going on around you now that you have been sliding for quite a ways. And as you turn to stop the board, you go flying off of it, and your scimitar clatters down with you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw? Everyone who's watching, you see Bug, he's just a dot now to you guys as you're walking, and you see him turn to the side and go flying off of his board, which is the scimitar, and it clatters to a stop. And as that's going on, you also see Bug flip in the air. He's doing spins and twirls, and then he lands on his feet gracefully, and he's just breathing really rapidly and looking around, and he can see his scimitar to the side.
The fuck?
Those
I'm gonna pick it
kobolds.
up
Yeah, got something new going on.
Man, he should be a monk.
I pick
I
up the
could
scimitar,
train
wipe
him.
it off my leg, and then put it back in its sheath.
Alright, very well. I will also be DMing you something in just a second for that.
Alright.
And
I've sustained a bone fracture. An X Games style fracture.
and
His
everyone else,
vertebrae popped out of his mouth like a Pez dispenser.
do you continue walking down towards Bug, the rest of you?
Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted to be out of the snow. Looks like I am.
Yep, you are out of the way now of the snow.
Talk about a ride. A 1 and then a 20 right after one after the other.
And you all catch up there's about 1/4 of the way left going down the mountain. And as you're getting down there, it's directly straight in front of you is a mountain range that continues to the north. To your left, you can see that building a little bit better, and to the right, you can see the village that, as far as you can tell, you have no clue what type of village it is. You haven't seen any type of architecture like this before.
Can I try to remember if I can like kind of identify this place since I lived kind of close? But
yes, if you want to make a history check. As far as you can tell, Otto, you've never been directly like around this area. You cannot really tell what sort of culture is there, although you can tell that it's close to your home. You're not sure, what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you are all closer, can you would one of you want to make a perception check to look at that building that you think the source of the lights come from is?
I will. Yeah.
All right. All right. Balthazar, are you also making one?
Nah, if he's got it.
All right. As you're looking out towards it, Drogos, from what you can tell, it looks like a temple and a shrine with a pedestal on the top. You can faintly make out a small figure atop of it, and there's a lot of other smaller figures around that area as well.
All right.
But you can't really make out what it is from where you are.
All right. So looks like there's some guys over at the building.
What do they look?
Can't really tell.
My eyes aren't really that well.
Looks like one person on top of a pedestal and surrounded by a bunch of others.
Is it the doubles or?
Can't tell from here.
Can I try to see what the building's symbol is, or if I can recognize anybody down there?
All right, yeah, go ahead and do a perception check for me, please. From what you can tell down there, it's still a ways away and you can't make out any features, but you can tell that it is like a temple of like a ceremony or worship.
So I can't see the symbol of...
No, there doesn't seem to be any symbols there. Does anyone else wish to do anything, like look around or anything like that while you're heading down? You're about done with the mountain. You're getting really close to where you can see trees and plains in front of you.
I'll just start to use my use my quarterstaff as a walking stick. Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyone else? All right. About 5 more minutes of going down, and you're on flat land again. There's trees and stuff around you, and as you look out, you can faintly see what looks to be the village that you saw to your right, and again the temple on the left. You can, talk amongst yourselves which way you want to go, or what you want to do, or anything like that. It's about midday now.
What are you guys thinking?
We could head to the town and stock up.
Yeah,
Don't have time for that after.
Do we have all the supplies we need now?
That's all right. I have plenty of spare rations. I got 8 of them.
I got a bunch of knives.
I am very hungry.
Oh, here you go.
And I pass him. I think I have 1 head left. No, I don't have. I just have a normal ration. I have to hand him. Here you go, Otto.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. And Bug's gonna eat a ration himself.
Yes, if anyone wants to eat a ration, if they have any, they can here. Because you are all starting to get hungry. You haven't eaten in quite a while.
How do I eat a ration?
Just
Your
gotta
ration
mark it
in
down.
You
inventory.
put food into your mouth, you chew it, and you swallow.
That is how you do
On
it.
your inventory page, deduct 1 from your ration.
Okay.
Or if you don't have rations, you'd have to ask someone else that has them for one.
Or
I
you
got
can
mad
make a,
rations.
or you can make a survival check to find a source of food.
Can
Cool.
Bug look for a squirrel?
Yeah, make a perception check for me, please.
The sunlight. Bug has disadvantage in sunlight for perception check.
No,
Cobalt.
it's very bright. It's very hard to see now that you've gotten readjusted with being on the ground. Whereas up towards
Seems
the
like
mountain,
dragon.
it's a lot cooler. Like the sun's brightness isn't hurting you as bad, but now it's back to what you've been used to. You can't really see anything of the trees.
Ah, it's so bright!
Are you hungry, Bug?
No, why? I just ate.
All right.
I'm just looking around. I just, it's pretty bright.
Interesting.
I was, potions, weapons, some food that isn't ration packs.
I'd say we have enough as it is now.
Can you make a perception check for me, Balzar, as you're looking? As you look out towards the temple or shrine, and you see the tiny little specks of people there, you can tell, and just by looking, that something big is going to happen there soon, but you're not quite sure what. All that you know is that the light has been emanating from this place for a while.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Yep.
So are you going to the village or the temple?
I think the temple first.
Temple village got outvoted.
Did anyone want to go to the village?
I mean, I think, we can all agree that, for right now, it seems like the temple is more important. But so we can go to the village after, because that's where we can, patch up and rest.
That was the
Before
idea.
that, though, we need to go to the temple.
That makes sense.
I bet there's some people that we could skin.
I will go with whatever the group goes with.
It's temple then, all right.
Right. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No, what is that noise you're making with your mouth?
It wasn't me.
I saw you making a weird noise with your mouth.
Mo's gonna use his bug voice to say, "I saw you making a weird noise with your mouth."
Bug attempt to do a Mo impression.
Alright. Do a deception check for me, Bug.
You make a weird noise.
As everyone is looking at the two bickering with each other, looking at their lips, it seems like the words that they're saying is coming out of the other's mouths. They look like it's sounding identical, like they're arguing with each other, but their words aren't lining up with themselves.
He was gonna shake his head and then take out Darthag's trick from his pocket and start thumbing through it because he realized that after it was he saw Brock's eyes glowing green and he wants to see what happens if he reads it.
All right.
He's doing it while he's walking too.
Yeah.
So
I would like to ask Funny Man, Mr. Bug, what happens when Drogos is thumbing through the book?
So, the book he is looking at is a ritual book containing, at the moment, 2 rituals, which seem to be written down by Brock. Those rituals would be the Find Familiar spell, where he got Marv, and I believe there was one other one.
I think he used Detect Magic.
Yeah.
That was the other ritual. So, thumbing through it, you see these 2 rituals, and the rest of the book seems to be blank. It's in maybe Brock's handwriting. You're not so sure at first glance. It could go either way. And it doesn't really have an effect on you. It's more so just like you can see these are spells that you're aware exist.
All right. And what I like there's like the way to like cast them, right? Or like do the ritual.
It would have the instruction, though you're not so sure if you can cast them, as you've never casted them before.
All right.
It's like if you found a cooking recipe, doesn't mean that you could cook it, but if you've cooked the recipe before, then you might be able to.
All right. Keep that in mind then.
All right, so the group starts heading towards the direction of the temple. Does anyone wish to do anything as you start traveling?
I'll just keep an eye out for small creatures around as we walk.
All right.
Mo also will.
As you continue walking, it's still very eerily silent. Now the sounds of howling winds is replaced with rustling through the trees. Would the 2 who wish to look for small animals make a perception check?
I would like to do that if I could. There we go. My Discord's been so broken recently. There we go.
As you're all walking, Mo, as you're looking out, they're very intently looking to see if you can find anything. You see what looks to be the glimmer of maybe a rabbit behind a tree. You can just see the tail end of it sticking out.
Hello?
Hello? You
Hi.
Do I need to repeat what you saw?
A tail sticking out?
Yeah, you can assume there's a rabbit. It's just sitting there.
So, I would like to stealthily, try and grab it. I want to try and sneak up on it.
Okay, make a stealth check for me, please.
Alright. Swagger.
As you creep up on it, Mo, you're very careful not to step on any twigs or leaves that would make a sound. And as you get close to it, you can see that it is just a small white bunny just munching away on what looks to be just leaves there. And it turns and looks at you. It's just still chewing.
I'm going to, as fast as I can, just dive forward with both. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to look in my inventory real quick. So I might have something.
It's a very nasty rabbit.
You're gonna do nibble me shins?
Alright, I'm just going to dive as fast as I can toward it with both my hands out to try and grab it.
Make a acrobatics check followed by a strength check. Acrobatics to dive onto the rabbit and then strength to hold onto it. Okay, make a strength check.
Sure.
Okay, and let me... Funny how that works. Yeah, sure enough, you land directly on top of this rabbit. It's squirming around, and you just grab a hold of it, and you're holding onto it. And after a couple of seconds, it just stops squirming. It's just looking at you as it's chewing the last of the leaf in its mouth. It's just looking at you. It doesn't seem to be scared.
Okay, well, interesting. Because I was okay. Well, now I gotta think for a second now what I would like to do with this, because I was not expecting it to like me. Okay, I'm going to take.
Docile towards you. It was just eating, and you picked it up.
I'm gonna get my 10 feet of string. I'm not gonna use all of it, but I want to fashion a leash, and then put the rabbit on the leash and walk the rabbit. and see where that takes me.
Make a animal handling check for me, please.
Can I get a quick rundown of what's going on? I was gone for the last like 2 minutes.
I dove towards a rabbit because I was going to present it to Otto and very briefly ask if he would like it dead or alive. But now the rabbit likes me, so I'm going to try and put it on a leash.
And you're using string, correct?
Well, I have. Let me see. The other thing I have is hempen rope. I don't know what that is though. Is that like really
It's
big
rope. It's
Whereas
rope.
string
It's
is like
normal.
what you would think, like tiny, thin string.
Okay, I'm gonna use some of my rope then.
All right, and sure enough, as it's like in your hands, you just wrap it like around its neck, the rope, and you have a rabbit on a leash now. It's
All right, and then what I'm gonna do
you're
is I'm
as-
gonna yeah.
Go ahead.
Since I don't really know how to smile, I'm just gonna like bare my teeth at it. And then I'm going to feed it one of my rations.
It seems very reluctant to eat the food you're pushing at it. You're just like kind of smushing it into its like fur on its face. It's just like backing away from you, and then it tries to dart off to like get away from you, and then the rope just and just pulls it back to the ground.
I'm gonna. Alright, yeah. I'll just try and. Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. Did it eat the ration or didn't?
It did. You smushed it onto its face, but you still have most of it.
Okay. So then, I'm going to. I'm just gonna hold him in my arms and pet him as we continue walking.
Okay, make another animal handling check for me, please.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Are you gonna skin that, Mo?
I'm going to treat it.
Are you gonna
with
skin it?
respect. I'm gonna
You-
treat
you're
it with
just-
respect.
You're just kind of cradling the small white rabbit in your arms, and you're just like petting it and brushing it along the back end. Everyone else, you see Mo dart into the forest. He tackles something, you can't really see what, they're struggling, and you see him pull out rope and wrap it around something, and you hear it go thunk, like the rope like pulling back and like restraining something, and then a couple of seconds later you all see Mo start to walk out of the forest with a white little rabbit in his arms.
And just out of character real quick, I should get advantage for having a rope around its neck for my animal handling.
No.
Awesome opinions, damn.
Animal handling is
animal-
is how well it likes you.
Oh, I thought just how well I could handle the animal.
No, I feel like it would like you less if it had a rope around your neck. Well, that just depends.
Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I have to go talk to him for like a minute and a half.
Okay, that's fine. Everyone
Okay.
else, you just
Have fun with your
see
rabbit.
Can I-
Mo with a rabbit.
Can I like walk up to the like rabbit?
Yeah, as you walk up towards it, Mo holding it and like gritting his teeth at it. The rabbit seems a little scared, but it's just gnawing on a little bit of leaf in its mouth, and it's just looking at you. Its little black eyes, just little beady eyes looking at you.
Oh, Mr. Rabbit, do you know how many people are around at that building right over there?
Can you speak to animals? Wait, Otto can speak
I
to animals.
can.
Yes. Let me look at it to see if what I need to tell you. Speak with small animals. Forest animals are known for their ability to communicate ideas with small forest creatures with sounds and motion.
Yeah.
The rabbit just seems to look at you. God, this is so weird. How do I do this?
Wait, what's happened with my rabbit?
Otto was
Otto
trying to
walked
talk
up
Otto
to
is
it.
talking
to
to
it.
the rabbit because he can speak with animals.
You can? Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. What did he try to say?
Otto asked the rabbit if he knows like how many people are at the temple that you guys are heading towards, and the rabbit looks at you in a way that makes it seem like it doesn't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Mo's gonna. Oh, sorry.
Silly child, you can't talk to rabbits.
Oh, I think I understand. And I'm gonna pull out my tiny knife.
Mo's gonna walk backwards and be like, "Whoa there, little fella."
The rabbit seems visibly scared now as it's like pushed up against you, Mo. Can you make another animal handling check?
Damn, I'm getting lucky.
From what you can tell, Mo, this rabbit is quickly liking you. Like, more so than
Nice.
anyone else. It seems to like being held by you and close.
I believe the rabbit said he didn't know much about the temple, but he would rather die than be captured by anyone.
I
How-
can fix
what?
that.
I would disagree with you. Could you ask him what his name is, Otto?
Sure. Mr. Rabbit, what's your name?
You know, he'd rather die than be captured. I can fix that.
No.
I know 15 ways to skin that baby.
Oh my god, what
Skin it,
sort of
gut it,
name is
stick it
this
in the
rabbit?
snow.
Oh, I did not think of this at all.
I don't think rabbits are smart enough to have names, so
I mean,
I think
that's
they're just
true.
rabbits.
I'm gonna name him.
IQ
give me-
higher than dirt.
What could you tell the rabbit?
give me a second. I'm thinking of what the rabbit
Michael,
is to tell Otto.
Can you look at our DMs?
I'll be right
Give me
back.
just a second. There.
Wait, so what's happening?
From what you can tell from it looking at you in a way, Otto, it seems like the name of the rabbit is Elwyn.
I believe its name is Bart. That's what it said to me.
Bart, can you tell him I'd like to name him John the Fence?
Dude.
Mr. Rabbit, is it okay if this man who holds you now calls you John the Fence?
The rabbit physically is shaking its head at you, and Mo, you see this.
I'm like, okay, you could tell him I said sorry. I won't call him that.
He says sorry. We'll just call you Bart like you asked.
The rabbit again shakes its head faster now.
I'm gonna look at him like, where'd you learn to speak rabbit, kid?
Oh, I can speak with many forest creatures. I grew up in the forest.
Okay, well, you should go back to the forest and learn on some free time. What Mo wants to
I
do.
am currently in a forest.
Okay, well, good job, buddy. Mo wants to use his master, his
He wants to speak to rabbits. Yes. Yes.
Wait, what is it? Is it master?
Mastermind. Oh, you're
Master.
Oh, you're.
Yeah, I want to use my master of intrigue to speak rabbit.
You'll probably have to get Otto to converse with it a little bit more. You're almost there from listening in on it.
Otto, can you ask him about how like if he has a family? Oh God, I wouldn't take him from his family.
Oh, sure. Mr. Rabbit, do you have a family?
The rabbit looks at you and shakes its head solemnly towards you.
It seems its family was killed.
Oh gosh. Can you tell him that that's okay because he can be in our family now? And Mo's gonna do his weird teeth baring instead of smiling.
Well, you can come with us now, Mr. Rabbit.
And the rabbit just nuzzles its head up against you, Mo. It seems like you have a pet rabbit and you can understand what it's saying. You can ask it any question you wish, so you can know.
What is your name, rabbit?
It looks at you. It makes the same motion it did before, and to you its name is Elwyn. Elwin. Elwyn.
Wait. Can you spell that again?
Yeah, I'll put it in D&D commands.
Okay. Elwyn on adding to my inventory, one Elwyn on a leash.
What's this, Minecraft? Just carry on his check?
From what you can tell, it seems like it's okay like being held by you, so you probably don't have to restrain it for it to follow you.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him. Do you want the leash on or off?
He looks at you and tilts his head to the side and like squints its beady little eyes at you like, what do you think?
I'm now going to remove Elwyn from a leash on my inventory and just put Elwyn
Yes.
in my inventory.
I think he wants you to tighten the leash.
I'm gonna look at Otto and like noogie his head and be like, no.
Expression, it's begging for death.
Can I try to grab his arm before he tries to noogie me, please?
Yes, make a dexterity check for me, please. You cannot stop it. He's much larger than you, and you just get nuzzled on the head with his fist, just like this grinding on the top of your head.
Guys, can we get going? I know that's a cool rabbit and all, and I really want to skin it, but I'm not gonna if you don't want me to. But can we please go?
Under his breath, Mo's gonna whisper in Bug's voice, "Can we please go?" And then he'll be like, "Sure."
That's rude.
Yeah, you now have a pet rabbit, Mo. So, does anyone else wish to do anything? No?
We're done here.
Yeah, okay. So,
Can Bug do one thing?
yes.
Can I try to see if the place we're in is well traveled? If this is like a high traffic area?
Yeah, go ahead. Make a
Like
perception
examine
check.
the ground.
From what you can tell from looking, there is no discernible path. It just looks like normal forest ground, but you aren't in the forest. It's more of like a semi-plain, semi-forest area.
It looks like we're in the woods, I would say.
That's kind of obvious.
Thanks, Bug. I had no idea.
Detective Longest is on the case. Don't worry. You know, I was a detective for many years.
Have you done
How
like
old
every
are
single
you?
job?
I've read many mystery books.
That's just as good.
Can Balasar kind of gauge the distance between their current position and the temple?
From what you can tell, you can probably make it there at nighttime. If you, like, really keep at it.
Looks like we can probably make it to the temple by nightfall. If we think that's a good idea.
I mean, are we all pretty well rested? Say.
I'm rip-roaring and ready.
The feeling a moon cult will likely be stronger during night.
I have powers over light.
Not
Light, mind you.
The sun. That's that guy's job.
And I point to Ambrose.
That's the sun guy.
He will give us strength.
Are you able to just keep the sun out? Oh, wait, no, you're not a sun god. Never mind. Can you just tell him to keep the sun out? I know you got good links to Celestials, so.
I can surely ask. What time is it right now, though?
It is about midday, around about 11 to 12.
And how much farther to the...
About 6 to 7 hours away.
How do you think sun gods and moon gods taste?
You're gonna find out soon, little guy.
I will ask in our moment of need.
So do you guys continue heading towards the temple?
Well, I mean, Balzar's pretty adamant about going to the village, and
No, I was outvoted. If everyone else wants to go to the temple, that's where we're going.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. It just seems like we have
sense internal conflict within the group.
It happens a lot, I know.
Can I try to persuade Otto that there's no internal conflict within the group?
If you so wish, make a deception check or persuasion actually, and then Otto make an insight check. From what you can tell, Otto, from your few interactions with this group of people you're now traveling with, they seem to argue and bicker amongst each other a lot more than they should for a group that seems to be like close to each other. You can tell.
Oh, I think this is a newly formed group, and I think it'll just take time for all of you to get along.
Well, seeing as we don't really know who each other are, yeah, I told you that.
I'm Bug Fungus!
Well, I didn't mean names.
We should all go around later tonight when we're all safe.
I already told everyone backstory. They don't believe it, though, so I'll explain later.
Maybe
it's utter nonsense.
I think
if
we all expressed ourselves, then we would all get along better.
We could do it while we walk. We got plenty of time.
Yes, we are quite far away from the building.
So
yeah. It appears that we're going to the temple.
As you all start walking in the direction of the temple, you can see what looks to be a river coming up, but it's a very long way away. The direction that you're heading is now out of the woods into like the plains, and you can see what looks to be a river coming up. But it'll be a couple of hours before you're able to get there. So if you guys wish to talk amongst yourselves while you're heading there, you may.
Well, I am Otto Billy Bonk of Billy Bonk Forest, and I am looking for my father.
Are we coming up on Bresson, or is the temple past, like, Bresson, kind of?
Let me take a look at my map, and I'll let you know. I need to find the map.
Because we've come down from the mountain. I put it in D&D.
Yeah, I see it.
I think we're closer to
that you have on the other one.
Yeah, we're closer to like Morton Dur, right?
You guys are. You are close to Bresson. It's past Bresson, but you can't like see any like village there. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not know that was a place. Like I'm still looking at it, confused what that building on the map is. Well, now I know what it is.
I'd say we're probably just kind of like inland, like east of it.
And you guys can continue to talk amongst thyselves.
Did I tell you guys what happened?
You said there was a red dragon that flew over?
Yes.
Intact?
It burned death and destruction.
It burned my whole village.
Sorry to hear it.
Yeah.
Did you fight it?
Oh no, I think my dad tried some magic on it, but
Dragons tend to be very magic resilient. Speaking from,
Yeah.
Well,
are you still on about that whole dragon parent thing?
I mean, is this good enough? And Jerry's gonna take off back his splinter for it to sprout his wings.
Ah! Stop it! Gross!
Is
Yucky!
this proof enough, Amber?
Gross! Yuck!
I thought all dragonborn people had wings.
No.
Only the most profane!
I'm gonna look at Balzar.
Instantly related to dragons. They aren't our parents.
Well,
but,
I mean, I look completely different from another dragonborn. Like, you don't have a tail.
You have a tail and wings. That doesn't make you look completely different. It makes you look like a freak.
Weird half dragons.
Bug's gonna point out and realizing.
You're either a dragonborn or you're a half dragon.
Maybe there's some in betweens.
I'm gonna walk around Balazar and then walk around Drogos.
I think,
like looking at them.
Yeah.
I think Detective Bug has figured.
No, what's that, Bug?
So you said you have a tail and you have wings.
Yeah.
Those are both things kobolds have. You're just a tall kobold.
4 times your
Kobolds have
height.
wings?
Yeah, they do.
So I know
Have you ever met a kobold with wings?
That's some do. I've seen him in Arcosia.
I
What do
mean,
you call
Where
it?
is Arcosia?
What's that?
Where is Arcosia?
Demi-plane.
What does that even mean?
Isolated pocket of the universe.
It's not a real thing. Don't worry about it.
What's a universe?
The place. Wow, you're dull. The place
Excuse
where we all
me.
live. You heard what I said.
Rude. That's awful bold coming from a kobold.
Shut up, Bug.
No.
Aren't you like?
Can you draw me a map to this place?
It's a completely different part of the universe.
Then how do you get to it?
Portals.
Is it by boat?
Portals.
Port?
Do you not know what a portal is?
Are you from the demon plane?
I'm not from the abyss.
Oh my god, he's a demon. That explains everything. Tail, wings.
Why does he look like a dragonborn then? If he's a demon.
Know. A disguise. An attempted disguise.
Oh, you can pull off one of my scales. You can clearly see that I'm not devil or demon.
Ambrose is going to do an Arcana check on Drogos.
Very well.
I'm a sorcerer.
Can I try to remember if I've ever heard of Arcosia or any kind of demi-plane?
You may make a history check. He's magic. That's as far as you can tell, Ambrose. And Otto.
He is a demon.
You don't know anything about a place called Arcosia or a demi-plane.
So can you go back to that place then?
You weren't here for it, but you guys remember that day when we killed Cora and I disappeared?
No.
I wasn't there for that. No.
That's why I said, we won't know. It was when we were.
When was that?
It was when we were underwater. The heirloom.
Just swam back up to shore and slept there.
Yeah, I figured you just checked it out, left.
No, I went back. Arcosia.
Oh, I remember all of this.
Do you what? You're there.
Otto, if you remember it, what did the blood taste like?
It tasted like blood.
Wrong! It was sour!
That's what blood tastes. Oh, never mind.
Blood does not taste sour. I can attest to this.
How would you know,
Blood
Balazar?
of some species does taste sour.
Okay.
No, this was sour blood. This wasn't regular blood. I'm a blood connoisseur.
You get enough blood in your mouth through accidents, and you start to recognize the taste. It's never sour. It's more coppery.
Yeah, it's more acidic than sour.
So
Like licking a pitchfork.
What are you saying?
Which is one of the ways you can get blood.
how do you come
Anyways.
back then from Arcosia? I'm just very confused.
There's a lot of portals throughout the plane. Some of them lead back here. Some of them don't.
Better question.
Once I come back here.
How do you come back to the same spot that
I don't really come back to this same spot. It's more or less I just know where I'm going.
Go there right now.
No.
So could we just go to the place we want to go across the aisle?
That's not really how it could work.
By going to Arcosia and coming back?
You do realize Arcosia is a massive city, right? It's not just a place that exists.
DM.
Yes, Mr. Vongist.
Bug is gonna close his eyes and try to concentrate really hard, clenching everything to try to go to Arcosia.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me, please.
He rolled it in D&D. He got 16.
Okay, did he roll in D&D?
Yeah,
What?
16.
You feel like you pulled something, but not really.
Ow!
You didn't go anywhere.
See, I just tried to go to Arcosia. Didn't work.
Yeah, because you like look.
That is not how teleportation
You
moves.
lie.
I can only
Wait,
do one
Otto,
thing.
you know something about Arcosia?
No,
Are-
I've just read about teleportation.
I can do that sometimes.
Can you teleport us?
Well, no.
The only way I teleport is to teleport there is through this, and he taps it, and Drago's gonna tap the splinter.
Is that a splinter in your thumb? What?
It's my focus made it a while back.
Doesn't
Can't
that
really-
hurt?
Bug's gonna point at the splinter while he's holding it and make it smell like farts using prestidigitation.
You're not holding. You're grabbing it around Dragos's neck.
No, I pointed at it.
Oh, point it. I thought you said grab it.
It now smells like farts.
He's doing the Dark Souls point down gesture.
Zap! It smells bad now.
They shall never let you back in the psych ward again.
So, do you have any proof that this are... whatever, I don't need proof that it exists. I'm sure it's very real. Could they perhaps help us? Because we are going to this...
What do you mean?
Something very... your people, right? You have dragon parents, right?
Arcosia wasn't a dragon city. It was. It had literally. Why do you think I know about every single race? Arcosia had every single race you could think of. Name one right now.
Kobold.
Humans.
Basilisk.
What'd you just say?
Basilisk.
A basilisk?
Basilisk. Those were more wild animals around Eternal Heat.
What?
Drake.
Those no.
The Tarrasque.
Though that was.
You must be very well known then, if you can teleport.
Bug, you would not know
I mean-
what a Tarrasque was.
Bug, I think, would have heard songs of the mighty Tarrasque. That's
The
where I'm
world
getting this
ender.
from. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Haven't heard of that one. That's not really a race, though. That's more of a monster. I'm talking race, like humanoid, like us.
So,
Mirrors.
what about hues?
Those
Are there any
skeletons.
hues where you come from?
Those are
Oh,
skeletons.
skeletons? You mainly.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
The pony men.
There's one inside you right now.
Bleh.
You are about.
Well, yes, but it's different. It's not alive.
I know you.
My
I know,
bones
it
are
is.
not alive.
I know what you mean, Ambrose. There were some there. Mainly.
It does not have a
Poachers.
soul.
You are your skeleton, Ambrose.
No, I am my soul, given by
Ambrose,
Borthisi.
3% of your being is already not but skeleton.
Oh, sorry. I just realized you're from the desert, right? Nemonas, you said.
Yeah.
Were there any Thrycreen there? If you remember.
Can Balasar remember Thrycreen in Demonis?
Make a history check, would you?
Oh, these things.
As
I
far
don't
as you can
think
tell,
so.
you've never heard of a Thrycreen before.
The fuck is a Viking? Ficus? Are you asking me about plants?
No, it's mantis type people. Figured you know, 'cause, they're very
What is
desert.
a mantis?
Do you really?
He's talking, no, he means ficus. It's a type of plant.
No,
It's a
I
good.
don't.
It's a very good type of plant. Very easy to
I
care
believe
for.
it's a type of succulent.
Do I need to spell it out for you?
I do believe a ficus is a type of shrubbery.
I don't think it's technically a shrubbery. I think it's still like a house plant.
I'd just like to make sure that we're still like walking while we're talking.
Yes, you have been walking this entire time.
We're still
Okay,
good.
You've been walking and talking.
Simultaneously giving Trogos so much shit.
It's
I love
Drogo's
that.
beatdown hour.
I love that it's supposed
I'm
to
with
be like
this.
everyone goes around and talks about each other, and the majority of it, you have been walking for about an hour and a half, just railing Drogo's on his past.
All right, enough about me. All right, you can tell. You already have enough. Let's see.
Otto, you're new. What's your story? Where have you been the past 4 years?
You already know about Otto. He's talked about it a lot, and
I believe my village was attacked by a red dragon, and everyone was slain except for my father, because I found a note.
Yes, but you said you've been out for 4 years, right? What have you...
Have I? Oh, I think I did say that.
Yeah, so what have you been doing for the past 4 years?
I've been looking for my father.
Where have you been?
I've just kind of been walking around, going where the crystal tells me.
As you do.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Back when first Darthag vision we got, who's that guy that was like beating you up? Who was that?
Oh, yes. I actually don't remember out of character.
It was
was
your old
Master.
master.
Funny man,
Who's the old-
Bakonin.
Oh, Bakonin, not my father. Okay. Second
Child
character.
abuse. Just Ambrose's father beating him to death.
Well, you see, when I went to go train with Master Bakonin, he worships Borasisi. The whole temple where I'm from does. Bakonin was the Grand Master. He wasn't very fond of me.
Alright. May I ask why? Is it because... Oh, yeah. Never mind. Why was that?
I do believe it was my royal birth. I think he is just rather jealous. It's very hard to be a commoner, and like in my time being somewhat common, I've come to understand this. So I recognize his jealousy and why he was so angry with me.
Ambrose,
But we all can't be royalty. I do realize this.
Ambrose, something tells me that might not have been his problem with you.
What could it possibly be then?
Perhaps he thought you were a little vain?
In what sense? Like,
You're a bit of a douche sometimes.
You're kind of full of yourself, Ambrose. You've gotten better, but when we first met you, you were kind of insufferable.
but how was I insufferable?
Yes,
I've changed a bit, but not that much.
Did you literally tip somebody who was begging for money 1 copper piece?
Didn't you steal a man's ornate wheelbarrow and gave him 5 copper for the trouble? You didn't even give it to him personally. You threw it on the dirt in front of the bar, I think is what Bug said.
Well, I thought you would understand. Also,
you...
he didn't specify how much coin he'd like.
It was parked outside, wasn't it?
Yes, I thought it was for sale.
You also asked to be carried around everywhere.
To be fair, he didn't carry me in the snow the other day. That was nice of him. He's changed.
You tried to pet a basilisk.
Yes, and I don't see the problem.
Basilisks kill people. they render you unto stone and devour you.
Well, not that one.
It probably would have if you didn't get lucky.
And it was so kind that it ate the rocks in the wagon's path.
Bricked into that
You
path.
faded it over to the rocks in the wagon's path. It almost ate the wagon.
I think this is definitely getting off topic about how I'm full of myself.
It is pretty critical. I want to know more about your royal heritage, Ambrose. Tell me about the slave uprisings or whatever.
Oh, the peasant uprisings.
Yeah.
Oh yes, my grandfather. Back in Portondo when there was that rabble about workers or peasants unions or something. Yes, my grandfather, he quelled the peasant uprisings, and King Dewi at the time turned him into a baron.
Why were they uprising?
I don't really know why the peasants uprised, but it's probably something to do with taxes or the illegitimacy of the king at the time. He was later deposed, so there's probably something with that. But now our family is a baron. Baronship, yes.
Yeah, so you're the next, are you the next king after your dad? That's pretty cool.
Didn't you say something about being, what was it, 23rd in line?
Wait, what, really?
That may have been a mistake, I think.
I believe the Jorgensons are a very large family, if I remember right.
You have that many siblings? I thought kobold families were big. Wow.
Well, I have lots of cousins that are also in line.
Oh, shouldn't they be behind you because of the law of succession?
Well, very recently, an entire family was killed off by another cousin, by another family of cousins. So I've raised in rank from 23rd to 6th.
Oh, wonderful.
That's quite the leap.
He died? Wow.
Gross.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe my father sent me away for other reasons.
Well, why did he?
Yeah, why would you go to the monastery?
You were being sent away.
He said something about needing to grow up to inherit the family line, which I think is quite ridiculous, but he really did favor my sister and brother over me. Maybe I'm just another pawn getting pushed out of the line of succession.
Did you Did you blaspheme against the family name? Did you spend a small fortune on booze or something?
Quite the opposite. I've learned how to do the tables, and I learned how to read and speak a little bit of Giant, so we could continue trading with the Giants. I thought I was quite alright for the next to the throne.
Acting? No. Are you being vain and full of yourself? Or
Well, we seem to have different definitions of vain.
What did you tell your father that you were better than him? Nobles don't.
I guess you might be able to draw that conclusion.
Oh, what if we go back there and coup him? Yeah, I like it.
No, we are not. We are not assisting in a coup. Just the six of us.
This will be the fourth coup I have assisted with.
Bug, have you done every single job?
I'm sorry. The what coup? How many coups?
Wait 1 sec. And Bug starts to count in his fingers. 1, 2, 3. This will be the fourth.
What were the other three?
Let's see. The first one, there was a small kingdom of what were they, bullywugs in the swamp when I was little, and I was bigger than most of the bullywugs, and so I took one and started hitting the other ones with him, and then I made the guy I was hitting him with king. I don't know if that's how it works, but
That's not a coup.
I consider that a coup. I was maybe 2. And then let's see, the second one, I was in Warham, and what was it? The humans were in charge, and I didn't like that very much. And so I found the king when he was like taking a morning stroll with his guards, and it's a whole thing. And then let's just say that it ended up with a ballista bolt in him, and
Okay, that's an assassination, not a coup.
no, because then what happened was, you see, for like a little bit there, the lizard folk were in charge because I was a bard for them in training before I went to, before I hopped around.
I thought you were a bard for the UNT.
I hopped around. I started with the lizard folk, but they didn't really like me very much because I think lizards and fish are pretty good. So I tried to eat one of their servants.
The funny thing is, you see, my father's has been around, if you know what I mean, and there's been lots of illegitimate children.
That's not
bastards, huh?
So I wasn't very surprised when we met Mo here.
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
Oh well, one of the illegitimate family lines is Hernandez, I think. But you know,
You're shitting me.
It explains so much. You wouldn't have to have any cobalt.
Please tell me this is a joke.
I do not think that there are many kobold families in Port Ondo.
That's sad. I want to be the king.
As you're all talking about this time, you're coming up upon a river. It's not a too wide river, but it's just about the width of the river that you saw back on your way to Vlenin. It's a little bit shallow, so you probably will be able to walk directly across it if you wanted to do so.
Alright, what do you guys prefer? Ice bridge or going right through?
Why not an ice bridge?
Right?
Are you sure you can make one?
Remember Cortudor? I froze the river.
Yeah, but well, no, I was getting zapped. I don't remember much. Except for me getting zapped and stabbing a lady.
You definitely do it. I just need to reinforce it a lot.
Do you wish to
use
Ray of Frost on the river?
Yep, and I'll try to make as stable as a bridge as possible across the river.
After casting it a few times, everyone watching it solidify and freeze up into a thick sheet of ice, it's about enough that you can walk across it reliably.
That's certainly a bridge.
And after you guys walk across, it is getting about midday, a little bit further towards the evening. It's about maybe 2 to 3, and you're just crossing the bridge. There's still a lot of day left. The temple in front of you is getting a little bit bigger, and you're continuing that way. You guys can continue with your stories if you want to,
So
time seems to be going by faster as you're talking with each other.
So Balazar, you said you're from the desert city of Nemonis?
Indeed.
What is that city like?
A proud people.
Very honor-driven, I guess you could say. It was cramped for a while, but an incident apparently happened a few years back, and the outskirts got torched. So they mostly cluster behind the wall now. No standing army, just a local militia. I was a member of that.
Are the people there mostly Dragonborn folk?
Nah, it started as a Dragonborn settlement, but that was nearly 100 years ago. Or, no, 200 years ago, roughly. Give or take a few decades.
So has your family been there for a long time?
A while. Shortly after it was founded, they settled there.
I don't think I've ever learned your last name either.
That would be because I don't have one anymore.
You need a new one?
Self-exile.
You can be Battlestar Fungus?
I have to earn my name back.
I give you permission to earn Fungus.
How can you lose your last name? I am rather confused.
Committing a grievous error, a misjudgment, a crime. What should the Nemanite elders decide that you have been going against the clan? You will be stripped of your name, your title. It will be as if you never existed. Or you can do what I did and do the same thing, but on your own terms. Self-exile.
What could possibly be that horrible? You seem like quite the honorable Dragonborn folk. You're coming with us to kill the killer of Brock and...
I did a lot of bad things, Ambrose. It's gonna take a bit more than a few just killings to make up for it.
Have you tried saying you were sorry? I didn't even cast malicious mockery there. That was just a normal sentence. That wasn't even magic. Oh no! Did I cast a spell then by accident?
As Balazar's laughter roars out more, it seems to echo all around. And you can get the feeling that he's trying to avoid talking on the subject further.
No, it's if only it were that simple, Bug.
Well, you never answered my other question, by the way. You can have Fungus as your last name if you want. I'll let you have it.
It's fine, but
Battlestar Fungus is pretty nice.
Well, if you were to ask Lord, is it Kyanite?
That guy, yeah, we're not.
According to him, mine and Drogos' last names are Dragonborn.
But he's not a Dragonborn, he's a kobold!
Apparently, all Dragonborn are just named Dragonborn.
Do I know anything about Lord Kyanite?
Make a history check. Let me take a look. From what you can tell, it seems to be a rich, wealthy person in the north of Portondo in Nuln.
I've heard that name a few times.
They seem to hold significant power.
Who is Lord Kyanite again, please? I think we did some trading with him.
He owns a Kyanite mine. He appreciates the fine art of music. His servants are pretty cool and weird guy.
Was he interested in pottery? Something?
Not to my knowledge. He liked.
Not maybe, but the only interaction we ever had with him was he contracted us to get some necklace back actually, that is where this whole moon god business started. That was the first contract we took as the coalition. I believe Brock came up with the name.
And his silence kind of falls over you, reminiscing of your since past friend and how he sort of brought this group together with its name and really solidified how you've come together as a group. Time is starting to slip away, and it's about evening now, about dusk. It's about 4 to 5 as you've continued walking. Mo is still petting Elwyn just silently to himself. You're all, walking. Otto's using his staff as a walking stick, and you're all just kind of talking about your past. The temple is coming up very quickly, and as you turn to look behind you, you can notice that you've passed by a city which you can assume to be Bresson. Your long talks have almost made you forget where you were going, and you've now passed past that, and you're rapidly approaching the temple. As the sun is starting to set a little bit, you can see what starts to be the large beam of light coming from the temple.
Maybe we should go back. I wouldn't mind a nice bed to rest in.
All right, I agree. So that's 2 votes for returning to Bresson. Anyone else?
Well, it only makes sense they would be more powerful at night.
3.
I haven't played a show in a long time. I bet I could get some money if I played a show there. Sure.
4. All right. The Bressons have it. Let's go.
Is anyone in objection?
He's just not going to say anything.
I will now have to ask because I have no clue what Bresson is. Does anyone have anything planned for that? Because I have no clue. I forgot that was even a place.
Nope.
Well, your guys are going there, so.
Isn't Bresson an elvish city?
Dwarven.
Dwarven
Elvish.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's dwarf and elves. I'm pretty sure.
Because Elsmira is like the elven capital and whatnot.
Yeah, but Morton Door is like across the lake, really close.
Mortondur is yeah, it's right there, and then there's a settlement directly across the lake from where the beam is showing, and it is shining very bright. Like it's almost blinding, as there seems to be a lot of power emanating from it. You can tell.
I think I just messed up. I think I just messed up the map, and that be on the GIMP map I made, the high quality one.
Yeah.
That is Morton Dur. It just fit in better up there.
Yeah.
And then Morton Dur on the MS Paint map is just a little bit lower.
But
those are the same.
From what you can tell looking at it, it looks like something big is gonna happen tonight at that temple.
If we really don't want to stop, we could go.
I mean,
Go ahead, Bug.
Will we be in any condition to fight after a hard day's travel from Mountaintop?
I know I am. I'm in full condition.
I am pretty pissed about Brock's death.
I think it's our duty to go to the temple first, if we like it or not, because tonight looks like it's the night where something happens.
As you're saying that, it grows even brighter. It now spreading across the entirety of the temple, shining into the sky. And as you're looking towards that way, now that the sun has fully set and the moon is starting to peek out, the clouds in the sky have started to dissipate and fade away. And in its wake, you see many, many, many stars across the sky.
Ambrose is going to start jogging towards the light.
Yeah, I think they just made our decision for us, and Belisar is going to sprint after Ambrose.
Bug will follow suit.
I have my sketch of my dad ready, so I can ask them.
Red. Joris never got rid of his wings, so he's going to just start flying over.
All right. As you start, are you flying up and looking as you're going?
Yeah.
As you're starting to head that way, you can see more figures than before. It seems like there's a lineup of people in front of the temple on the sides, as almost as if they're a welcoming party or a guard. Like, you know how in like some castles they have guards on each side of the room lined out in front of the king or queen or whoever is in charge? It seems to be like that as they're heading towards, as you're like heading towards the temple. They're starting to get clearer now as you're getting to them, but you still can't make out what they are, Drogos.
All right, they're just gonna point at, or it's just gonna like look down at someone and then cast message at, I think, at Ambrose and just say, "Hey, got a big welcoming party." Try to tell the others.
There's a weird voice in my head telling me that they've got a large welcoming party. We should hurry.
Balasar is going to lean over to Bug. Did you cast message?
Can you repeat
Drogo?
that, Bug? Can you repeat that, Bug? You did not show up and like I could not hear you at all. Did you say no?
No, I did not cast message, Balzar. You would know if I did, because I would have pointed my finger.
Well, I think we all give voices in our heads sometimes.
I'm going to try to respond and say, "Who is this?"
I'm just gonna cast message again. It's Drogos. So,
Oh, Drogos is talking into my head.
When did he learn message?
Oh no! The sorcerer can now yell in my head!
real quick, I literally used message on Bug like when I first got it.
I remember. Oh,
Wasn't? All right.
the thing is, like, I mean, like, Bug was hiding. Bug likes to hide his cantrips. That's why he doesn't use. He didn't use prestidigitation for a while, and why he hides Mage Hand a little bit, like So he's acting as if he didn't know. He wants to. He doesn't want to be outed as a magic man.
All right, second character.
Well, looks like he cast message, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the jug up and keep going.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's now about 8 to 9. You have been at it for a while, and you're starting to slow down due to fatigue, but you have that determination about you to keep going. You are very.
Guys,
You're
let's
getting.
stop for 2 minutes.
What?
I want to stop for 2 minutes.
Okay. Do you want to take a like?
Don't get burned out.
Oh, do you mean like in character? Or...
In like running,
in character.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
I think we have time.
Well, it's almost dark. We should probably eat a ration, get some water, and then continue.
as you're saying that, you can tell that to your left is the lake there with mountains to the west, and to your east as well. You're heading right for the temple, and you can see these figures coming in closer. And to the left of you is the lake. If anyone wants to drink water, you can like the moon is now fully up in the sky. It seems to be a lot bigger than you remember it being. And it, again, there's that feeling that it's sort of watching you as it reflects off of the lake to your left.
Don't look at the moon.
Well, I'm going to eat a ration and drink some water.
All right, very well.
Dallas are the same.
Yours is doing it from the air.
No. Oh. Yeah, I guess you can. Concentrate on flying and eating at the same time, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. You have proficiency in that. Just whatever. Is anyone else gonna eat or do anything like that? I guess I should ask. What are you doing with Elwyn right now? Are you still just petting it?
Yeah, I'm just petting him, scratching his ears.
Yeah. He seems to enjoy your affection. you can tell that he won't be leaving you anytime soon.
Epic.
And as you get a little bit closer, you're now about 50 or so feet away as I'm explaining this. You can see it's a big grand temple, like like Aztec temple type stuff. And as you're walking there, you can see cloaked figures lined up in front of the temple, like in a straight line going back to where you are. And as you look at them closer as you're getting there, you can see that they're all skeletons, black bone skeletons who are just silently looking at you. They don't seem to be hostile. They're just more just staring at you, just looking. And they're all just lined up looking at you as you continue to walk towards the temple steps.
I'm not gonna stop walking. I'm gonna jog.
All right.
Oh my god, a skeleton!
Like
I'm gonna-
getting ready to attack as soon as I can.
I'm gonna pull out the piece of paper and like hold it out to the people in line and just say, "Have any of you seen this man?"
They're not in line. They're out to the side. Like, I need to find a picture.
Oh, okay.
Because it's easier to explain. Like, they're out to the side. Like, they're not on the path leading up to. Like, it's so weird to like try and explain this because it's very difficult. Like, does anyone have a better way to?
Maybe draw an MS Paint.
I cannot draw. I will not do that.
It's like a little
What are you
stick
trying to
drawing.
explain to Tally?
Have you ever seen like a throne room with
There's a path, and they're like lined up on both
Yeah.
sides.
yeah, like I'll put it in.
Yeah, like along the
Oh,
wall.
they're
You
lining
mean
up
like
on
along
both
the wall?
sides. Okay.
Like I just saw what you did, Joe. Sahni.
Do you mean like a what? Do you mean
Kinda-
like along the
kind of like that, but going all the way to the sides of the temple?
Yeah.
Okay, and like facing
Yeah,
each
and-
other.
Yeah, facing each other as you're going, and they
Okay,
all
yeah.
have like their katanas drawn, just looking at you. But they don't seem to be like the ones that you faced before. They aren't hostile toward you. They're just sitting there watching you as you go past them. And as you hold out your paper, Otto, and call out if anyone has seen your father, there's no response. The light is now extremely bright, but as you start to climb the temple steps, it seems to fade like you're inside of the big beam, and the air is silent. It's just dead silence as you're heading up to the top. Does anyone wish to do anything as they're going up?
I will pray.
It's like flying up, like not taking stairs.
As
It's
you
kinda
go into
creepy!
as you go into the beam, Drogos, something seems to be weighing you down and shoves you back down onto the ground.
All right, they're just gonna like move over to the stairs and then put the thing back on his splinter. Just like, all right, no wings, and then start walking up the stairs.
It seems to forcibly close, like you putting the piece back into Splinter to close it. It seems to forcibly close itself.
All right.
Well, I guess none of them know what he looks like, and I'll put the paper back in my bag.
All right. You're about halfway up the steps now, and the guards on the sides have started to diminish, but you can tell like closer to like the top that they're the ones that you saw on the mountain. The big, larger ones with a fully like fledged katana in hand, just looking at you as you pass by. Again, I'll ask, does anyone wish to do anything? Yes, I'm looking at that right now, Joe. Just give me a second. Alright. You seem to feel something, Ambrose, like a voice is telling you that you can be the one to save this. I will not have any part in interfering in these affairs. I will let you be my champion of strength during this moment, and if you can prove yourself, then you will be heavily rewarded for your service. Does anyone else wish to do anything?
Bug is going to have his loot in hand and his sword ready.
All right. As you all get to the top, you are now atop the top of the temple, and as you look up towards the sky, you can see that the moon is fully fledged. There are stars everywhere. There's almost no like space in between the stars. It's so like there's so many of them, and with their back facing you is a figure. And as that figure turns towards you, you can all see this elegant looking woman who has long white hair and a ponytail and braid going down. In her hand, she holds a bow that seems to be radiating energy and a guisarme. Does anyone know what that weapon is? I can find a picture if not. But she's holding that, and as she is like looking with arms stretched out towards the moon, she turns around and,
Uh-huh.
faces you. And yeah, sorry, the spelling's weird on that. But,
Got it.
yes, it's
Yeah, the monk weapon, right?
mm-hmm. It's one of those.
It's like a pole arm? Yeah, it's like a pole arm, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And she turns and faces you, wearing this like elegant dress and these like armor on her shoes, and she's just looking at you. And there seems to be a calmness that washes over you all oddly as she turns to you and starts to speak. Hello there, Coalition. It is about time that you finally made it here. I know each and every one of you, and I know all that you have done in the past. I know everything that you will ever do, what you will accomplish, and I am here to stop that. I know that this is a little hard for you to understand, seeing as, well, Mr. Brothier Hubazulinger has passed. Um, I only did what I did so that I may reach my goal of bringing justice to this world by blotting out the sun, so I can gain true rule. You cannot stop me, I hope you realize. I'm just far too powerful for being such as you.
Bug is raising his hand like up in the air and like jumping excitingly, trying to like have her answer his question.
I will get to you in a minute, Bug. Bug, I will get to you in a minute, please. There'll be enough time for talking. I'm sure you're wondering why I did what I did, but you must understand that you are the ones who interfered with me. I simply had my servant Cora Tudor go and grab a piece of kyanite for me for my ritual, but it seems that some of you, and she turns and looks at you, Drogos, put a stop to her plans. She was a foolish young girl who I could easily manipulate to do this for me. It's not that I didn't care for her, I would have happily intervened, but, you know. I got my piece anyways, and she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a large piece of kyanite in her hands. Oh, don't worry, it didn't come from Mr. Kyanite, or why do you people even call him Lord Kyanite? He has no real rule. But I got it. This isn't from him, this is from somewhere else. I only needed a small piece. Oh, just enough to finish my ritual. And soon, after tonight, I will truly ascend beyond anything that you had ever dreamed. But I can see the rage in your hearts. You think me a villain, someone who's doing wrong who you must get rid of, should I say. But, you know, everyone here present has done some pretty bad things. I mean, come on, Balazar. You and I both know what on in Nemonis, and Ambrose, how Bakonin and your father view you, and let's not cut the bushes with our known criminal, Mr. Hernandez, over there. But I guess I should thank you for one thing, as you have given me way to a new power. that old hag, Bubbly Wubbly, was more than a potion seller, I guess I should say. She had unnatural powers that I exploited after her death. And as she holds her hand out, you see this black ball of like mist envelop in her hand. And let's just say that she found a way to make sure that people got their revenge, should I say. And as she like pushes her palm out towards you all, you see black mist puddles appearing before each of you. And after a couple of seconds, the first one that comes out, Balazar, in front of you, you see a large hand, like grasping desperately out of this portal onto the ledge and pulling itself out, is a face that you recognize quite well as Rasalov, your revenant double, who is massively bigger than you now. It is almost scary to you how large he is compared to you, almost 2 to 3 feet taller than you. And in his hands is a gigantic greatsword with a searing white light blade. As he holds it out towards you, he's silent. There seems to be no sound in him. And one after one, you see the revenants of each of you come out larger and bigger in front of you, with weapons that are glowing in the dark. And she looks at you. I don't want to be a bad person. I hope you understand. I'm doing this for good. It's good for me to do these things. It'll help everyone. I mean, come on, Bug. Even today, the sun was hurting you, hurting your eyes. Wouldn't it be a lot better if it was just gone? There's a lot of parties at night.
No, not really.
Let me finish, Bug. Let me finish. Nighttime is where a lot of parties are. You could be playing for many people as much as you'd like. But I know what you really want. You want to see him again, don't you? Yes, that rage in your hearts is just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. But don't worry. How about this for you? And she holds out her hand again. This black mist starts to form, and there's a pool that forms to the far right of all of you. And there seems to be groaning coming out of this portal. And after a couple of seconds, a hand reaches out. A small hand grabs the ledge and pulls themselves out. And it almost brings you to tears as you see not Ritorb, but an almost perfect copy of Brock. His helmet on, his trident aloft his back, his shield out, and he's got this smile on his face, this warm, welcoming smile as he looks towards all of you. And it just pains you to see it before the vision of Brock just seems to twist and fade into a black mess of horror as a warhammer slams down onto the top of the vision of Brock, and out steps Ritorb, his killer, a lot bigger, with a bigger warhammer in tow and a shield. You really must understand that I had to do it. He was the end of his people, really. The Volundermines was gonna fail if he went back there, and he was so destined to prove them wrong, but, it never really worked out for him, now did it? I hope you know that you're quite many outnumbered, but, I won't be that cruel to you. And she holds out her hand, and as you all turn around and look back down towards the temple steps, you see all the, soldiers, the skeletal soldiers there, disintegrate into ash onto the ground. I'll give you as much time as you need to think about this next part, but I guess you would like to know what's happening to your friend, I guess, Humorous? Would anyone care to see what has become of him?
I mean, you're probably gonna lie, but sure.
Yeah, come on.
She holds out her hand again, and a blue, mist comes across, and up in the sky above her, you see a small, like, oval portal tear open, and it's almost like you're watching another part of your world as you're looking through it. And as you look through, you can see another temple, much like this one, that you're standing atop. And at the very top, you see Humorous in his armor there, looking about like the top of it against the altar and all the stuff around there, looking for. You can see he's looking for something, and it dawns on you as figures start to appear before him. Many, many, many figures, and you can tell from looking that the guards that were at your temple have been sent to where Humorous is, as swarms of like skeletons swarm him upon the steps. And as he draws his sword, you can tell from the look in his face that he has fought them before, much like you have fought your revenants. And as he lets out a war cry and starts swinging at the skeletons around him, you see a very large one step up behind him, and the portal closes. Now,
Watch out!
and she holds out her hand towards the ground in front of her, and 3 to 4, and then a 5th figure comes, and in front of her are 3 tiny skeletons that you have seen in the Barnacle Express, a large one like you saw in the mountains, and then behind her you see a gigantic like mist show up, and this gigantic skeleton appears holding a odachi, which for those who don't know is a very, very long katana with a big blade, and he stands even taller than Rasalob. He is massive, and yeah, like that. Like, yeah, I find it funny that they use Sephiroth for that, but uh, is there, and you can quickly see that you're outnumbered here, as it's becoming quite obvious that it's going to be a very rough fight, but you feel like you need to do this for Brock and for your own reasons to end what you started when you all came together in Nuln. And as she looks at all of you, she says softly, "I will give you a chance. I'm not a mean being. Join me. Why won't join me, and I will give you powers beyond anything you had ever seen. I can give you
There's
gold. I can give you gold. I can give you powers. I can give you your own place to stay. What if I made something like this?" And she tears open.
Give me Brock back or give me death.
There is a blue portal swirling to her right, and you see what looks to be like a castle atop a hill that just came into existence. And there's a star on the front of it, with each side of the star being a different color. What if you had your own place to be, where you didn't have to go out and work for things? What if you just joined me and you would be able to be happy for once? You don't need to have conflict when I'm on your side. So I'll let you decide. Will you join me, or will you fall here much like Brock did?
Miss God Lady, I don't mean to be rude, but do you know of a Otto Billy Bonk Sr.?
She sort of looks about the group and then looks down to see this tiny little gnome child there in front of her. And she kind of like gets down, like, you know how like an adult like getting down, like not on their knees, but bending down to look at like to talk to a small child. She's getting down like that. "Oh, hello there, Mr. Billy Bonk. How are you doing all the way from your little forest?"
Oh, it was kind of cold in the mountains, but
"Why don't you join me? I can help you find your dad. I know where he is."
really?
"Yeah, all you have to do is join me and I can help you find your dad." And she holds out her hand towards you, Otto. Everyone else sees this as well.
Oh, well, okay. And I'll start to put my hand out towards her.
Does it? Go ahead.
I'm gonna step in front of Otto and turn around. Mr. Billy Bonk, I do believe this is a trick.
Oh, it is no trick, Mr. Jorgensen. And she places her hand on your shoulder, Ambrose, and you feel this warm sensation. It doesn't feel bad. It actually feels like rejuvenating, but you get the sense that she's trying to manipulate you, but you can tell that her intentions seem good, like what she believes she's doing is right, much like what you believe you're doing is right. So it's a clash
Then
of
show
beliefs.
him. Then show him his father in the sky portal.
Yeah. Then I'll really know.
Do you really want to know, Mr. Billy Bonk? The truth may frighten you.
I don't like how you worded that. Otto, you might not want to listen to this person. I don't think you should. That was worded in a very weird way. I feel like whatever's going to happen will not be good. You definitely should not listen to her.
Everyone wants knowledge.
I know.
Everyone wants knowledge. And I can give you that knowledge, Mr. Billy Bonk. If you want to find your dad, I can show you where he is. All you have to do is just tell me so and join by my side, and I will tell you exactly where he is. Won't it feel good to find your dad again?
You are talking in a weird way, and it makes me think something bad might have happened to him, but I would rather know than just walk around for the rest of my life.
So do you wish to know?
Yes, I guess I'm ready.
She nods, smiling at you as she opens a portal in front of her. And as you all look at it, you all slowly look up to see a portal looking down, and you see a perspective of all of you before the portal closes. And then there's silence.
He's in heaven.
Wait, am I your dad? Otto, and you never told me?
Wait. Oh.
What is it, Balthazar? I
I know, yeah.
could have known as a father.
Otto and his dad are the same individual.
What?
What?
I think that's the gist here.
I think the gist might be that his father is looking down on him right now.
None of the other portals are perspectives. This one is a perspective. Like, not a perspective. Like, it's... Otto, how long have you been your own father and you've never told us?
She's obviously lying, and we should kill her now.
Kill her now so I can skin her. Oh, you never answered my question before, Mrs. The funny moon god.
I am not a god. I am half of that.
So I can skin the non-god half. Okay.
Oh, that means you're very much killable. Good to know.
Yes.
I am. After tonight, I will have ascended. You cannot beat me even now. I am fully powered. You cannot stop me. But if you wish to die here, I'm sure your friend Humorous will enjoy finding all your corpses lying all over the sunless world. It's all thanks to him that I have my minions, you know. You know the Star Namer? That old fool? His soul got absorbed into that poor skeleton abomination. Does anyone remember that? Once he killed him?
Yeah,
Where do you
pretty
think
funny.
Where do you think I got my army from? I used
Probably like someone's skeletal grave.
I used Bubbly Wubbly's magic to target each of you to create versions of you that were the worst, but their goal was to kill you. So when I created one using the Star Namer's soul in Humorous, it had a weird effect that kept multiplying. More and more of these skeletal warriors were on my side, and I thought I could use this and I perfected it as the days passed, and you just bumbled about in Warham, and eventually, and she turns around to look at the massive one behind her. I think I found the perfect version of Humorous. This is what he would want, is it not? The perfect warrior that he's always sought to be. He is better than Humorous in every way, and he will strike you down much like Brock was struck down over the head. I don't want to confront with you any longer. Truly, I believe I'm good, and you should too. I mean, I already did a favor for Mr. Billy Bonk here. Join my side, or perish, as she turns her back to you and starts walking towards the pedestal.
I said a name, right?
Yes, that is my name.
Say if I were to join you, hypothetically, would I be able to learn that dark power, that whole like making replicates thing? Could I be able to learn that, perhaps?
Of course, Drogos. I could also give you that magic that you have been struck with, and you, Mr. Fungus, and you, Ambrose, who are almost ended by. And she holds out her hand, and you see a swirl of light, a beam circling. If you join
Can
me,
Bug do a tactical dodge?
you gain this power. All you have to do is join me, and it's yours. I can give you power beyond your wildest dreams.
I'm gonna punch her with stunning strike.
And as you go up, you are blocked by all the revenants who push you back, and they all draw their weapons towards you as she sort of like solemnly looks at you all. So, I guess the time
Your
for
lies
talking.
will not fool me.
I guess the time for talking.
Yeah,
is
I'm with
over.
Ambrose on this one.
I guess the time for talking is over then. Goodbye,
The
Coach.
time for
I still want to join you. I still want to join you for the
Lord.
rest of the time.
The time for talk is over. The Lord's work must be done.
I still want to
Oh, one thing.
fun. Like, come on. I'm not kind of like splitting off from these guys. Like, they don't believe anything I say, so why should I?
Well,
continue
yeah,
to
but that
trust
doesn't
them?
mean we don't like you. We still like you. We just don't believe you sometimes.
Everything.
Every friendship has ups and downs. Anyways, we can all agree that this woman would be better skinned, and she never answered my question from before.
I think she's lying.
As you're all
Probably.
talking, the air seems to swirl around you, and as you look, the moon seems to fade to blackness. And then in the sky is just stars, just endless stars in the night sky, before they start to fade into a separate color. The light around you that's bright white, that is giving you light, seems to turn and fade and twist into this red mass. The stars are red, and the sky seems to open a bit in the middle as the moon returns in this blood red. And everything around you seems to fade into this red color as it's now a battle of right and wrong to decide the fate of the world as far as you know. And as you all gather your weapons, that at this time we will be continuing the last part of your own worst enemy next week. So
Motherfucker!
Oh,
I knew it happened.
I always loved a good cliffhanger.
I will house and I will piss in your Cheerios.
what?
How dare you?
I don't think I could wait a week. Oh my god.
Oh no, the audience won't find out that Bug's real father is